People are always wondering, how on earth do you write a novel? And there's not a simple answer to that question because every writer's process is different. Some people write novels based off of characters. Some people create characters to fit a world. Some people get a scene or a line and they create an entire story based off of that one scene and that one line. I've done all of these things. Um, I think each book requires a different tactic. I am much more of a pantser. What some people would call a discovery writer, where I don't like to know what's coming. I would rather write and see what happens than think the entire story through and all of its innate little details and go from there. But for some people, that works. For some people, they cannot write if they don't know what's going to happen. That's the nice thing about writing, is it's very much it's an individual thing and it varies depending on the individual. When it comes to the actual writing of a novel, what becomes important is the idea that you can actually create a world and create people. And I write a lot more about this on my blog. There's a link down below, but every good novel starts with a good idea. And not every idea is a good one. If, like me, you're a character-based and character-driven type of writer, you need to figure out your character first. If you know nothing more than their age and their interests and what their point in the story is, it's okay. You can write the rest of it out. As you keep writing, you'll get to know your character more. I figure the first draft of a novel is more about introducing yourself to your characters, getting to know your characters, and getting to know the world. After that, you can fix everything in the second, third, maybe fourth drafts. Hopefully it won't take that many drafts, but if it's your first novel, don't be afraid to have to rewrite. Nothing is perfect the first time. Something else that's important to pay attention to as you try to write your novel is keeping your audience in mind. Who do you want to read this book? Do you want people to read it who are like you? Would your friends be interested in reading this book? Are you writing a book for your mom and her friends? Are you aiming for a target audience that you have no idea even exists? If that's the case, it might be a little bit more difficult for you. But if you're aiming for an audience that you know, make sure that you keep them in mind. If your audience isn't going to be interested in as many torture scenes as you may want to put in yourself, either you need to change your target audience or you need to exclude the torture scenes. And again, all of that comes in the second draft. You can remove things, you can change things. The first draft, really, you just have to get everything down. And that's the hardest part of writing a novel, is actually getting everything down. As you write your first novel, keep in mind you will have to edit it. It's okay to have to edit it. Things will change, and that's a good thing. It's okay to not know where you're going unless you need to know where you're going, in which case it's okay to outline. Please outline if you need to outline. If you want to outline, outline. There is no right way to write a novel. There are things that produce good writing, and that's the way you want to write your novel. But there is no correct way in which to write, because everything is different. So if you have an idea and you're like, yes, I want to write this novel, spend a little time thinking it through. You don't have to know everything in detail, but do know who your characters are, do know the general idea of the plot, figure out where you're going and what you want to do in a general sense, and go from there. If you start writing, your characters will probably surprise you. But don't get discouraged when it takes months to write your first novel. It might even take years to write your first novel, and that's okay. That's normal. That first novel, you're still figuring it all out, and the likelihood is, percentage-wise, you probably won't publish that first novel. As you learn more about writing and as you practice writing, you're going to get better, and as you go back and read it, you're going to be like, wow, this is not actually as good as I thought it was. That's okay. It's not a waste. You learned all sorts of things. That novel taught you how to write, and it taught you that you could write, and finishing it is one of the biggest accomplishments you will ever achieve. having said that you have written an entire novel, and in order for it to be a novel, it has to be more than 50,000 words, and that is an accomplishment, my friend. Treat it like it is. Now, go write. If you like these videos and want to see more about what I'm doing and learn more about the writing world and publishing industry and how to get published and all of that fun stuff, check out my blog. It's down below, and follow me here because this is the sort of thing I talk about. So, until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.